Catch the wave. You're listening to Wave Radio, your home for uplifting gospel music.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Afternoon Praise. I'm your host, Demetrius L. Brown, and you know me as the business point guard also too. But I want to thank you for joining me on this beautiful Monday afternoon. The weekend was great. I know here in North Carolina, it was a lot of things going on. In Raleigh, we had the International Food Day. It was food trucks. It was tents, different cultures, all kinds of food was out. And of course, the Hurricanes played. Yes, if you know hockey, North Carolina Hurricanes, we are in the Stanley Cup. So there's a lot of stuff going on this weekend here in North Carolina. But what was going on in your area? Hit me up on social media and let me know. Hit me up on my Instagram. But today, man, I just want to say I thank you for being here. And so let's get into this. See, last week we spent time discussing preparation, capacity, stewardship, and respecting the process. We talked about becoming. We talked about development. We also talked about why preparation matters. But eventually, preparation must meet execution. Eventually, development must produce deployment. Eventually, what you've learned must become what you do. See, this week thing is what you do next matter. Yes, what you do next matters. This is our week's theme. And today we begin with a powerful thought. The show is based upon wisdom is execution power. See, let's talk about Solomon, people. Most people remember Solomon for his wealth. Some remember Solomon for his wisdom, but very few study what Solomon actually built. See, the proof of wisdom was not what Solomon knew. The proof of wisdom was what Solomon built. Listen to what I'm saying. And when you go in the Bible, study this right here. Even non-biblical people study Solomon. But listen to what I just said. The proof of wisdom was not what Solomon knew. The proof of wisdom was what Solomon built. He built systems, infrastructures, partnerships, leadership structures. He built economies. He built a kingdom. See, wisdom became visible through execution. Most people think wisdom is all about information, just a head full of knowledge. See, most people think wisdom is simply knowing something. But let's take a lesson from Solomon. Solomon lives teach us something different. Knowledge tells you what to do. Wisdom help you do it. Execution prove you understood it. Hey, you're listening to the Afternoon Praise, and today's show is going to be very impactful. So go tell someone to tune in. Hey, I'm your host, Demetrius L. Brown.
Join us on this heavenly journey, one song at a time, Wave Radio.
If you just tuned in on this Motivation Monday, you're listening to the Afternoon Praise. I'm your host, Demetrius L. Brown, and we are talking about wisdom is execution power. Yes, it is, people. See, the most expensive knowledge is unused knowledge. I'm going to say that again. The most expensive knowledge is unused knowledge. See, knowledge that never becomes action has no return on investment. You can attend every conference. You can attend every seminar. You can read every book, listen to every podcast, watch every YouTube video. You can take the courses. You know, the videos with Corset. But if nothing changes in your behavior, nothing changes in your results. Every year, people spend thousands of dollars collecting information. They buy courses they never finish. They purchase books they never complete. They take notes they never revisit. They attend workshops they never implement. The value was never in acquiring the information. The value was always in applying the information. See, the most expensive knowledge in the world is the knowledge you never use. And I've been there before, people. I've got books I haven't read. I got videos and courses that I haven't went back to. But I changed that, just like you can change that. Hey, you're listening to the Afternoon Praise. I'm your host, Demetrius L. Brown.
You're riding the waves of faith and grace on Wave Radio.
You're listening to the Afternoon Praise. I'm your host, Demetrius L. Brown, and this is Motivation Monday. And we were talking about Solomon. We were talking about wisdom is execution power. But let's look at Solomon. See, Solomon asked for the ability to govern. When God told Solomon to ask for anything, Solomon made a leadership decision. He didn't ask for money. He didn't ask for influence. He didn't ask for popularity. He asked for an understanding heart. Why? Because he understood something many leaders miss. Resources without governance become liabilities. Money without stewardship disappears. Growth without structure collapse. Influence without wisdom creates damage. And Solomon asked for the capability required to manage what God had already entrusted him with. And that is leadership. So, what are you asking God for? Are you asking for more money? You asking for him to clean up your finances, but you're not asking for the knowledge to manage your finances? Are you asking for a bigger business or more customers, but you haven't asked for the knowledge to manage what you have now? We got to take a page out of Solomon's book. Instead of asking for more, we need to ask God for the wisdom to manage what we already have. Hey, you're listening to the Afternoon Praise. I'm your host, Demetrius L. Brown.
Stay tuned and stay blessed here on Wave Radio.
If you just tuned in, you're listening to the Afternoon Praise here on Wave Radio. Tell somebody about the Afternoon Praise. If you miss any part of this show, go to my YouTube channel, The Business Point Guard, and you can listen to the show entirety. Well, the show right now, you have to wait to 6:15 until my team put it up. But any other show, you can listen to all the show's entirety minus the music. You can go back and study the shows, but share this show. Share the shows. So we were talking about wisdom is execution power. We were talking about Solomon. But let me tell you this. Information is no longer rare, people. There was a time when information was scarce. Today's information is everywhere. AI, books, podcasts, courses, mentors. Information is available to almost everyone, but execution is not. Just because you got the information, just because you got the mentors, just because you went to the conference, that means nothing if you don't execute. See, the competitive advantage is no longer information. The competitive advantage is implementation. The winners are not always the smartest people. The winners are often the people who constantly execute. Hey, you're listening to the Afternoon Praise. I'm your host, Demetrius L. Brown.
Stay tuned and stay blessed here on Wave Radio.
You're listening to the Afternoon Praise, and this is Motivation Monday, and we are talking about wisdom is execution power. See, the knowing-doing gap. Do you know what that is? The knowing-doing gap? See, most failures are not knowledge failures. They are execution failures. People know they should save money, exercise, communicate better, build systems, follow up, lead more effectively. See, the challenge is rarely awareness. The challenge is action. The distance between knowing and doing is where most opportunities are lost. And this is called the knowing and doing gap. See, we know a lot. We know a lot. Everybody know everything. But when it's time to execute, nobody do anything. So I encourage you today to take what you know. Well, hold on. First, let's back up. Let's reel this back in. Make sure you understand your purpose and take what you know and make sure you're executing so that you are a good steward of God's promise and your purpose. All right? Hey, you're listening to the Afternoon Praise. I'm your host, Demetrius L. Brown.
Stay tuned and stay blessed here on Wave Radio.
You're listening to the Afternoon Praise. I'm your host, Demetrius L. Brown. And let's talk about wisdom turns knowledge into results. See, Solomon asked God for wisdom. He didn't ask for material things. He didn't ask for the things. He didn't ask God to do it for him. He asked God for wisdom to understand the people's hearts. And see, knowledge tells you what to do. Wisdom helps you do it. Execution proves you understood it. That may be one of the most important leadership lessons you will ever learn, people. Because information alone creates potential, but execution creates outcome. Ideas are common, results are rare. The difference is execution. And I want to say that again. I want to repeat these three things right here. Knowledge tells you what to do. Wisdom help you do it. Execution, listen to this, proves you understood it. Hey, you're listening to the Afternoon Praise. I'm your host, Demetrius L. Brown.
Stay tuned and stay blessed here on Wave Radio.
If you're just tuned in and you're listening to the Afternoon Praise, I'm your host, Demetrius L. Brown. Hey, you can go back and listen to this show on any platform that you listen to any of your podcasts. If it's Apple, if it's YouTube, if it's Spotify, wherever you go to, iHeart, you can listen to the Afternoon Praise. And I want you to share the Afternoon Praise. And you know what? When you share it, tag me on Instagram or tag me on YouTube, wherever it is, just tag me so that I can say thank you publicly. All right. So today we are talking about wisdom is execution power. See, every vision requires a system. People celebrate vision, but vision alone never builds anything, people. A vision without a system is a fantasy. A system without a vision is a chore. And the greatest organizations in the world are not built on inspiration. They are built on repeatable execution. Every great company eventually turns vision into process. And every great leader eventually turns goals into systems. And every great organization eventually builds a machine that produces results constantly. And you're listening to the Afternoon Praise. I'm your host, Demetrius L. Brown.
Bringing the sounds of heaven 24/7, Wave Radio.
You're listening to the Afternoon Praise, and this is Motivation Monday. What a great Monday. What a beautiful Monday. I know you all took the weekend. I know you relaxed. I know you regrouped and got yourself together. But I pray that you put your goals together for the week. And right now, I know it's Monday. I know some of y'all dread Monday, but Monday should be one of the days you look forward to, because Monday is the beginning of your execution day. So I want you to tackle Monday, come into Monday like, yeah, it's Monday. What's up? I'm finna hit this week hard. Yeah, I'm about to win the championship. That's how you got to come into this Monday, all right? That's why we called it Motivation Monday. And if you notice, I'm not motivating you with a bunch of talk. I'm motivating you with tools and knowledge and resources to help you get to that next level, to help you find your defined level of success, to help you reach your defined level of success. That's what I'm here to do. And this goes into what I want to talk about next. Stop being the hero. See, many leaders become the bottleneck. Every answer flows through them. Every decision depends on them. Every problem's returned to them. That's not leadership. That's dependency. Leadership creates capacity in other people. Leadership develops others. Leadership distributes responsibility. If everyone must wait on you, growth will eventually stop. And this goes back to what I said at the beginning of this break. The afternoon praise is a tool to help you become a great leader, to help you steward what God is giving you. And to do that, you have to build other leaders under you. You cannot be the bottleneck. You cannot be the bottleneck. Hey, you're listening to the Afternoon Praise. I'm your host, Demetrius L. Brown.
Catch the wave. You're listening to Wave Radio, your home for uplifting gospel music.
Hey, you're listening to the Afternoon Praise. Let's talk about Solomon built a structure. So again, we going back. Solomon asked for wisdom to understand the hearts of the people. Solomon didn't ask for money. He didn't ask for relationships. He didn't ask for material things. He asked for wisdom and understanding. And see, Solomon understood that sustainable growth requires structure. He divided responsibility. He delegated authority. He created accountability. He built administrative systems. See, Solomon organized the kingdom so that everything did not depend on one person. And that's what great leaders do. Great leaders build structures that outlive their involvement. So I say this again. Ask God for wisdom and knowledge so that you can build something that outlives you. Because if God gave it to you, it's something that's needed to help people in this world. You're not your own fruit. You're fruit for somebody else. So make sure you're building structure. Hey, you're listening to the Afternoon Praise. I'm your host, Demetrius L. Brown.
Catch the wave. You're listening to Wave Radio, your home for uplifting gospel music.
Hey, you're listening to the Afternoon Praise. I'm your host, Demetrius L. Brown, and we are talking about wisdom is execution power. See, decision speed creates momentum. Let me break that down. I know you probably said, what do you mean decision speed creates momentum? So are you telling me I need to make a decision quick, fast? No, that's not what I'm telling you. But, hey, calm down. I'm going to tell you. See, many opportunities die in delay. Not because they were bad opportunities, because nobody moved. You see where I'm going at? See, many people spend more time analyzing actions than taking actions. Indecisions is expensive. The wrong decisions can teach you. Indecisions teaches you nothing. At some point, wisdom says move. So what I mean by decision speeds create momentum, you have to make a decision. You not making a decision at all, it does nothing for what you're trying to build or your momentum. Making the wrong decisions can be a lesson. It can teach you something to help you within your momentum. You see where I'm going? No decision versus the wrong decision. No decisions is worse than making the wrong decision because you can't learn from something you didn't do. Hey, you're listening to the Afternoon Praise. I'm your host, Demetrius L. Brown.
Catch the wave. You're listening to Wave Radio, your home for uplifting gospel music.
Hey, you're listening to the Afternoon Praise on this Motivation Monday here on Wave Radio. Make sure you share Wave Radio. That's WAYVVE radio.com. Okay? Share it with the whole world for me. Wherever you are, just go ahead and share it. But let's talk about perfect plans rarely exist. Everybody want to be perfect. I want to make sure it's the perfect time, the perfect moment. I want to make sure it's the perfect people. I want to make perfect. Guess what? Perfect plans rarely exist. There's no perfect people. God is the only perfect person. See, some people are waiting for certainty. They want every answer before they begin. Every risk removed, every detail finalized. High performers understand something, people. Action creates clarity. Movement reveals information. Execution teaches lessons planning never can. You don't think your way into momentum. You move your way into momentum. And that goes back to our last break. Wrong decision versus no decision. No decision can't teach you anything, but the wrong decision can teach you something. So people, listen to what I'm saying. There is no perfect plan. There's no perfect moment. There's nothing perfect. Get started. Clarity comes from movement. Clarity comes from execution. Hey, you're listening to the Afternoon Praise. I'm your host, Demetrius L. Brown.
Catch the wave. You're listening to Wave Radio, your home for uplifting gospel music.
You're listening to the Afternoon Praise. I'm your host, Demetrius L. Brown. See, momentum comes from movement. Confidence rarely arrives before action. Confidence often follows action. The first steps create the second step. The second step creates the third step. Before long, progress replaces hesitation. See, many people are waiting to feel ready. They're waiting to feel good. High performers move before they feel ready because movement creates momentum. Move, people. Move. Get started. Don't be scared to fail, because the real failure is not making the wrong decision, or if something goes wrong, that's a lesson. The real failure is not starting, not beginning. That's the real failure. Hey, you're listening to the Afternoon Praise. I'm your host, Demetrius L. Brown.
Catch the wave. You're listening to Wave Radio, your home for uplifting gospel music.
Hey, you're listening to the Afternoon Praise, and today's show, we are talking about wisdom is execution power. I got the power. Y'all remember that song? I know it ain't a church song, but I know y'all ain't been saved all your life and you listen to commercials, so I know you know that song. I got the power. Execution is your power, people. Execution. Wisdom is execution power. See, stewardship changes the conversation, y'all. Owners focus on possessions. Stewards focus on responsibility. A steward asks, how do I maximize what has been entrusted to me? How do I grow it? How do I improve it? How do I leave it better than I found it? See, that mindset changes leadership. That mindset changes the business. And realistically, that mindset changes your life. Because again, you are stewards. You are a steward of yourself. You are a steward of God's promise. You are a steward of what God entrusted you with. If you got a family, guess what? You are a steward of that family. So again, you have to steward it. Not think as I'm an owner, because you're not an owner of anything. God is giving you this to steward. Hey, you're listening to the Afternoon Praise. I'm your host, Demetrius L. Brown.
Catch the wave. You're listening to Wave Radio, your home for uplifting gospel music.
Hey, you're listening to the Afternoon Praise on this Motivation Monday. I'm your host, Demetrius L. Brown. Let's talk about build processes for repeated problems. Yes. So if you solve the same problem every week, you don't have a problem. You have a missing system. Listen to what I'm saying. If you solve the same problem, the same SAME problem every week, every EVERY week, WEEK, you don't have a problem. You have a missing system. And great organizations eliminate unnecessary decisions. They create repeatable processes. Consistency is rarely accidental. Consistency is usually engineered. Can I say that again? Consistency is rarely accidental. Consistency is usually engineered. Put a system in place, people. Put systems in place. We all need systems. I'm still trying to figure out a system how, for the show, because the show is growing. The capacity is growing. So I can't continue to do the show the way I did it the first day. No, I have to put systems in place to grow this if I want this show to go to a whole nother level. Putting teams in place, how I'm gonna sell advertising, marketing, all that stuff. Put some systems in place, people. Hey, you're listening to the Afternoon Praise. I'm your host, Demetrius L. Brown.
Catch the wave. You're listening to Wave Radio, your home for uplifting gospel music.
You're listening to the Afternoon Praise, and this is Motivation Monday, and we are talking about wisdom is execution power. You remember week before last, I talked about if it's not protected, you don't own it. Protect, 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 protect. People, protect your leadership bandwidth. And I'm not talking about leaders of Fortune 500 companies or businesses. You're a leader in your family. You're a leader in your church. Protect your leadership bandwidth. Every decision consumes energy. Every interruption consumes focus. Every unnecessary responsibility consumes capacity. Wise leaders protect their attention. They reserve their best thinking for the highest value decisions. They eliminate distractions. Leaders, wise leaders, delegate wisely. They preserve their energy for leadership. Protect your leadership bandwidth, people. You go home. Don't allow people to drain your energy before you go home. And don't bring that draining energy from work or wherever you are to your house. Because guess what? That's a whole nother level of leadership. And those people, your kids, your wife or your husband, whoever, they don't deserve what you the mess that's at work, that you didn't have a system. So make sure your system at home too is different. And that system should include, I don't bring work problems home and make my family suffer for that. All right. Hey, you're listening to the Afternoon Praise. I'm your host, Demetrius L. Brown.
Catch the wave. You're listening to Wave Radio, your home for uplifting gospel music.
If you got a shout out request, hit me up and I got you. I want to make sure that we are getting the songs you want to hear on. And you know, we play music by artists that love God, that's inspired by the love of God. But let's talk about wisdom produces multiplication. Yes. See, the wealth wasn't Solomon's greatest achievement. The systems were, the partnerships were, the infrastructure was, and the governance was. See, the wisdom produced multiplication. The multiplication produced the outcomes. The proof of wisdom was not what Solomon knew. The proof of wisdom was what Solomon built. You're listening to the Afternoon Praise. I'm your host, Demetrius L. Brown.
Catch the wave. You're listening to Wave Radio, your home for uplifting gospel music.
Man, my time is up. It's been great. It's been lovely on this Motivation Monday. And you know what? I want to celebrate you because I just know you are ending this day strong. You came in Monday real strong. But even if you didn't, I know you was like, hold on. Let me take a break and rethink what I'm thinking right now, how I am processing the day, because I need the outcome to be greater than what I'm thinking. And so I celebrate you. But before I leave you, I just want to say this. What will you do next? Yes. As we close today's show, I want to ask you one question. What do you already know that you are not doing? Not next year, not next month, not someday, but today, right now, in this moment. What is the next action? Not the entire vision, people. Not the entire strategy, the next action. Because wisdom is not measured by what you know. Wisdom is measured by what you built. Knowledge tell you what to do, but wisdom help you do it. And execution proves you understood it. And that's why what you do next matter. Hey, I'm your host, Demetrius L. Brown, and I thank you for joining me on this motivation Monday. I want you all to have an amazing Monday. And remember this, y'all. Remember this. The proof of wisdom is not in what you know. The proof of wisdom is in what you build. Hey, I'll catch you tomorrow on Triumph Tuesday. I'm out of here. Peace.
Stay tuned and stay blessed here on Wave Radio.